Hello everyone and welcome to another game I played on Ptcgo. This time I'm going to be trying out a Suicune Terrakion deck, a deck that saw quite a bit of success in Japan prior to Worlds. It basically ran a quad Terrakion and quad Suicune with a bunch of silver mirrors to sort of prevent damage from both EXs and Team Plasma Pokemon. So here I'm going to start off with Suicune in the active spot. And I get to go first, fortunately. So my opponent's starting off with a Landorus and a Kyurem, so probably a Team Plasma deck, which is exactly the deck I want to see. Here I'm just going to attach a Blend Energy onto Suicune and play an N, and bench another Suicune, and just end my turn since I don't really have anything else to do. The one problem this deck has is attacking turn 1, so I did tech in some Stunfisk, the Rumble Stunfisk, just to deal with that. My opponent's going to attach to his Kyurem, Plasma Ball for a Deoxys, and me. But he's going to attach a Floatstone on Landorus, and he may retreat here. Yep, it looks like he's going to retreat to Kyurem and then play Frozen City. So Frozen City is definitely something that's going to hurt me greatly since I don't play any Team Plasma Pokemon here. I do play one EX, or 2 copies of Keldeo actually, just for the rush and retreat ability. Here I'm going to Skyla for a Silver Mirror. Silver Mirror is going to prevent damage done by any Team Plasma Pokemon to any non-EX Pokemon, so it's pretty much going to wall him from attacking me. And I'm going to catch up Deoxys just to further stall him and just end my turn since I don't have enough energy to attack quite yet. My opponent's going to Chorus Machine. Looks like he's going to do it this time to Deoxys and just end his turn. I'm going to put down a Keldeo with a Floatstone. So in hindsight, this deck probably shouldn't run any EXs just because it really tempts your opponent to catch them up, since it might be the only thing they can attack. My opponent's going to bench a Kyurem and a Deoxys and then just pass his turn. I have to pass as well. So going into his turn, he ends, and he attaches another energy onto Deoxys, so he may just retreat here and go into Kyurem, but he does attach a Silver Bangle onto it, which does an extra 20 to any EX Pokemon. He's going to Frost Spear my active for 0, thanks to the Silver Mirror, and my bench for 30. So here I get another Blend Energy that I'm just going to attach to Kyurem, to Suicune, and N. Don't get anything all that helpful here. I'm just going to Catcher, or I debate Catchering to stall and decide against it. And my opponent now, if he runs Tool Scrapper, he can definitely devastate me, but I sort of rely on the fact that most Plasma decks don't really run more than one Scrapper. But just as I say that, my opponent's going to Chorus and get his Scrappers. He's going to remove a Floatstone off my Keldeo and a Silver Mirror off my Suicune. So here he can actually Frost Spear for 2 prizes, I think, or definitely knock out the active and maybe the bench. No, so the bench will just be 10 short of the knockout, fortunately for me. So he's going to knock out the active. I'm going to promote the Suicune with damage on it. So I don't really want to tempt him to knock out Keldeo just now. I get another Floatstone that I'll attach to Keldeo. I'm going to bench the Terrakion that I just managed to get, also so I can Chorus for more. I will Catcher up a Deoxys to try to stall even further and attach a Fighting to Terrakion, which unfortunately does damage to it thanks to Frozen City. And after this Chorus, I'm just going to end my turn. I don't want to bench anything else because it'll just tempt him to catch or stall me. If he does run any more Tool Scrappers, he can definitely mess up with my rush and retreat strategy as well. So my opponent's going to attach a Floatstone onto Deoxys, promote his Kyurem to the active spot, Random Receiver, he hits a Juniper, doesn't seem to like it, he Random Receivers again. Looks like he gets an N that time, so he's going to end me and get 5 for himself. Unfortunately, he hands me into a Silver Mirror, which is just what I needed here. So he'll be able to hit me for the knockout, and probably snipe the bench Terrakion for 30. So he does. Now Terrakion has a total of 50 damage. And I'm going to attach that Silver Mirror onto Terrakion, attach a DCE, and I will use Retaliate, which will be able to do 90 here because he did knock out my Suicune. But I'm also here effectively blocked him from attacking my Terrakion thanks to Silver Mirror, because all of his Pokemon, with the exception of Landorus, are Team Plasma. So my opponent's going to Juniper. Not sure what he's trying to hit, maybe another Tool Scrapper, but I'm really hoping he doesn't play it. Instead he goes for the Catcher, so unfortunately he can't get the knockout here. He does, so he's going to hit me for 170 thanks to the Deoxys and thanks to the Silver Bangle that he has in play. So now I'm going to put down a Suicune. I'm not going to bench that Keldeo, I won't make that mistake again. But I will Skyla for another Silver Mirror to put on my bench Suicune, just to prevent him from capturing that up and trying to attack it with Kyurem. And I'm going to retaliate again for the knockout. My opponent's going to promote Thundurus, but he can't deal any damage to any of my Pokemon right now without first getting rid of the tools. But he can at least raid a Knuckle to get energy on his side of the field. It looks like he benches another Deoxys, and he's going to catcher up my Suicune. Not sure why. Maybe just doesn't have the energy required to attack. But he will raid a Knuckle here, and it looks like he's going to attach to one of his bench Deoxys. So here I'm just checking my discard to try to see if it's worthwhile to play Juniper. I don't really want to get rid of that switch, but I guess I have to. I play that Juniper and get rid of another Juniper in the process. But I do get a Water Energy, so I can Aurora Beam for 70. So this deck doesn't really hit for heavy damage, but once you get the block from or get the block up and prevent damage, you can just whittle away at your opponent. My opponent just raided Knuckled again and attached to Deoxys, and I just Aurora Beamed again for 70. But my opponent did get a Tool Scrapper this past turn, so that's very unfortunate. He's going to switch into Deoxys. I'm not sure I understand this play, since Deoxys still can't hit Suicune thanks to Safeguard, which prevents damage from all EX attackers. So, yeah, that might have been a misplay on his part. I'm going to Chorus here for 6, and I get a Water Energy, which was a good thing, and I will get that Catcher, which I'm debating about whether or not I should use. The big threat on his side of the field is probably Kyurem, since he can attack Suicune since he's not EX. But I will just Catcher it up, use Aurora Beam, and my opponent's going to Random Receiver for a Skyla. He's going to actually use this for a Catcher. So probably going to just Catcher up Terrakion again. If he has enough energy in hand, he could go for the knockout here. He's going to Chorus Machine, but it looks like he drew nothing from that, so he might be out of Plasma Energy in his deck. So I've actually played this opponent before, and this match has the opposite outcome. So he's won one and I lost one, and I won't tell you which this is. But I'm going to Aurora Beam now for the knockout after switching into Suicune. He's going to promote a Deoxys, which once again can't hit me for anything, so that's fortunate for me. Here I'm going to debate using a Super Rod, but I decide against it and just decide to go for the Aurora Beam for 70. And my opponent once again is going to Catcher up my Terrakion and hit it for 0, since it does have that Silver Mirror, which prevents the Plasma Pokemon from damaging me. I'm going to N, bringing him down to 2 cards and myself to 4. and I'll retaliate for 30. So that definitely does slow me down, because retaliate's damage output is fairly bad when you haven't had a Pokemon knocked out. My opponent's going to end me, and he's going to retreat into Thundurus. So he won't be able to damage me still, but he'll at least be able to get energy from his discard to try to power something up. And here I'm just going to retaliate for 60, hit him for weakness, and the knockout. Well, now he's going to promote Deoxys, and we're finally tied on prizes. So we're down to 4-4. My opponent's going to Juniper, and he finally hits another Soul Scrapper. So apparently he runs 3, which is highly unusual for any deck, but I guess thanks to Garbodor it's a wise choice. He does have a Float Zone as the active Deoxys, so if he can get enough energy, he can actually take the knockout. But it doesn't look like he has it quite yet. I'm going to Capture up Deoxys, put a Silver Bangle onto Terrakion, and I'm going to retaliate for 60. So my opponent here is going to draw his last card, so I could take the win by just passing if he doesn't have another supporter to shuffle cards back into his deck. He switches into Kyurem and knocks out Terrakion. But it doesn't look like I actually noticed this fact that my opponent's about to deck himself out, and I'm still focused on winning another way. So I'm going to N. Spells Disaster for me and essentially gives him the win because he can knock me out on the next turn. Yeah, not a wise play. I will hopefully never do that again. But thank you guys for watching. My opponent's going to take this win, and I hope you enjoyed this odd deck.